A warm welcome to this video for pelvic health. These are gentle exercises, but if something doesn't suit you, then go on to the next exercise. And please check out the medical disclaimer in the description below. All you need is something like a yoga mat or a blanket on the floor, and then a cushion for later on. Let's start with warming up. So we're going to stand nice and tall, and then a little side stretch, sliding one hand down the leg, and then switching to the other side. And then bring one arm up towards the ceiling, feeling that stretch increase, or even over the head, wherever feels comfortable for you. One more time each side. And then make sure you've got enough room behind you. We're going to do a little swing. It helps to take the feet a bit further apart, and as you turn one way, you can let the opposite heel lift. Try and look at the wall behind, so the twist comes up into the neck as well. And then taking the arms to navel height, up to chest level, up to neck level or throat level, up to eyebrows, and then up towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable. Keep it nice and loose, turning, gently looking behind. Let's come down again to the eyebrows and the throat and the chest, the navel, and then letting the arms tap behind you. From there, let's make sure our feet are a little bit wider and turned out. We're going to rest either onto the knees, or if you feel like you can come lower, elbows onto the knees, into a supported forward bend. So we're going to let the head relax, give the head a little shake, yes and no. Find that length at the back of the neck. And then if you are on your elbows, bring your hands onto the knees. We're going to push up from there. And again, we're going to come into a supported forward bend. So if you've got something, a chest of drawers, a cupboard that's the right height, you can have your hands or your forearms resting on it. And you're making a right angle between the upper body and the legs. You can also use a wall as well, so you can have your hands flat on the wall and then push the hands away from the hips, or the hips away from the hands. Give your head another little shake, yes and no. Let the head be heavy for a moment. You can always have a bit of bend in the knees if that helps. And then walking your feet towards your hands, coming back up. Let's come down onto all fours. And you can always have the cushion underneath your knees if you feel like you need a bit of padding to be more comfortable. So wrists are underneath the shoulders, and we're going to start with cat pose. So rounding the back, head heavy, and then letting the spine relax, looking in front, maybe looking up. So only lifting the head to look up at the ceiling if it feels comfortable in your lower back. And we tend to breathe in as we lift the head and breathe out as we round the back. And then noticing how much the spine is moving, how much the pelvis is moving. Okay, from there, we're going to take the left leg out to the side, so it's directly to the left of the hip, and my toes are pointing forwards. So a little bit of a stretch over the ankle, if that feels comfortable, and then hands walking further out in front, so we've got more room to rock backwards and forwards. So it might be just a few centimetres, or you might be able to sit further back. It's what feels comfortable for you. Be guided by those internal sensations. And you might be finding there's a little bit of a stretch to the inner leg. Notice where you feel it. And then let's walk the hands towards us so we can come up. So we're going to have the shoulders over the hips. You can stay where you are, but I'll just turn so that you can see what I'm doing. So I've got one hip directly over the knee, I've got toes pointing forwards. So the knee you're leaning on, you're going to bring that arm up and come over to the side. Breathing in and out. Let's take a big breath in and a sigh out. Sometimes, not always, we go a little bit deeper. One more time, big breath in and out. All right, let's try that to the other side. So I'm going to turn around so you can see my other leg. So right leg out to the side of the hip, toes pointing forwards, hands a little bit further out in front, returning to this rocking position. So do cushion the knee if it feels at all uncomfortable. And just notice, maybe this side feels different from the other side. Let's walk our hands in. We're going to come up. And again, you stay where you are. I'll just turn so you can see the front view. There we go. Got my toes pointing forwards. So we're leaning over the straight leg into a side stretch. Checking with the breath, breathing in and a bigger breath out. Breathing in and out. And slowly bring the hand down. So this is where you might need a cushion. So I'm going to bring it behind us to sit on. And you've got two options with the legs. You can either have the knees close together and the feet tucked to the side, like a side saddle position, or have the foot by the knee. Doesn't matter which way the other toes are pointing. It can be to the side or the back, whatever feels comfortable. If you feel like you're really tipped over to one side, you might need to add another cushion in to even the hips. So think heavy, heavy through both hips. So let's rest the hands onto the hips, or you can rest them on the knees. Going to tilt the pelvis back and then come into neutral. So I'm rocking back and then really working through those lower back muscles to sit up tall. Just check that your knees aren't popping up. So if as you go back your knees are popping up, you can keep them down. You imagine it rope onto the chest, pulling you up. Let's do it a few more times. You stay where you are. I'm just going to show you from the side. Doesn't matter if it's a small tilt, but we want the movement to come from the pelvis, rocking back and into neutral. Okay, so make sure you're lifted when you do the next thing. We're going to bring the hands in front onto the floor. That might be as far as you go, that's fine. If you've got space, you're going to walk the hands out in front of you, bit by bit. When you get to a point that's comfortable, let the head relax, back of the neck long. We're going to pause here for a few breaths. So breathing in and a sigh out. And the reason that we're sighing is it helps let the body relax. It's helping to calm the nervous system. So if it does feel really tight somewhere, maybe the hips, the body knows we're not going to do anything jerky, no sudden movements. With those slow breaths, it can let go, release some of that tightness. Let's walk the hands back in. We're going to do the same on the other side. So again, you can either have the knees together, feet sort of tucked to the side, or this other version, which has different names sometimes. Mermaid pose, deer pose, cheerleader pose. So foot by the opposite knee, the other foot's tucked to the side. So if the knees popped up last time, keep the hands on the knees, otherwise you can just rest them onto the hips. We're going to rock back and then come into neutral. So the important thing is we're really lifting up, working muscles all around the pelvis, around the sacrum behind you. Find a rhythm. So you might breathe in as you lift and breathe out as you settle back. Well, my knee was popping up then. Keep the knees down. Couple more. Okay, and then when you are sitting up nice and tall, bring the hands forwards. Fine if you need to stay here. Otherwise, let's bring the hands a bit further forwards. Sometimes people are happy to be on their forearms, but it needs to be sustainable for a few breaths. Let your head go, back of the neck long, heavy through both hips. Breathing in and a sigh out. Tell your nervous system everything's okay. Well done. Keep going, a few more breaths. And then walking the hands back towards you. I'm going to bring both legs out in front and I'm going to rest on the backs of the heels. So not feet flat or legs straight, somewhere in between. And I'm going to take my hands back behind. I'm going to do one leg at a time. So let's start with one leg tipping out to the side and then to the other side. You can always move the other leg out of the way. So left and right, rolling over the back of the heel. And as you push in, you might feel a stretch on the outside. That's what we're looking for. So next time, if you're very sort of upright, work towards pushing into the centre, or otherwise pushing down towards the floor. We're going to hold it there, feeling the stretch around the outside. So check in with the shoulders, are they as relaxed as possible? Has the face relaxed? Breathing in and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming out. Let's do the same on the other side. So resting on the back of the heel, left and right. And then staying, pushing the knee towards the centre or down towards the floor. So my whole leg is actively working. I'm keeping the pressure up, pushing down. Again, check the face is relaxed, not gritting your teeth together, there's not tension in the jaw. Let the lips be soft. Pushing down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release out. Let's then bring the feet together. And again, we want to sit nice and upright. So if you feel like you're collapsing back, maybe put another cushion in. Or come a bit more to the front of the cushion, like I just did. And you don't have to have your feet as close as possible. You can always keep a wider diamond. You're going to have the hands onto the knees. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. So dropping the awareness down to the chest. So we're going to lead with the chest to make a circle. So rather than circling with the head, we're leading from the chest. And it might be a really tiny circle to begin with. It might get bigger. I want you to feel what is good today. Might be different next time you watch this video. Take your time, maybe slow it down. And at some point you can change direction. Noticing where you feel it. Is it in the hips? Is it the back? We're also working into tissues of the pelvic floor. And then dropping down, having the awareness in that lower body. Trying to feel what is most nourishing today. Is it a tiny little circle? Is it a bigger circle? Is it to keep changing, spiraling in and out? And last time, changing direction. If you're doing this and you're feeling there's too much of a stretch in the groin or it hurts in the hip somewhere, what you can do is to bring 2 cushions, one each under each leg. So the leg is supported, push it right in underneath. So you can always do that next time that we come to this exercise. So from here, let's now come to lying down. So you might want to use your cushion out around your head. I'm going to lie on the back with the knees bent up, feet flat on the floor. And moving your hands so that you can feel your ribs. We're going to start with some breathing. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So watching for movement in the ribs as you breathe in, settling back as you breathe out. Let's do a couple more. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep on going. So we want this lateral movement in the ribs, the sideways movement, expanding and settling back. We're going to take it a stage further and gently blow out until we feel like we've emptied our lungs. So breathing in through the nose Blowing slowly out. When you get to the end, pause and then see if there's a little bit of extra to squeeze out. Let's do that again, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Squeeze the last bit out. Brilliant. I'm going to take it one stage further. So this time, as we finish breathing out, we're going to hold the breath out. So it might be a count of 5, it might be longer. See what is comfortable. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, fully exhaling, and then try not to sneak any air through the nose or the lips. We're really going to hold the breath out. As soon as you need to breathe in, you feel the urge, go with it. Big breath in, relax for a moment. So we're going to try it 2 more times. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out fully. Hold the breath out and count for yourself how long you're holding the breath out. When you feel the need to breathe in, let it come. Lovely. This is one more time, practicing. So this is hypopressive breath. And the reason that we're doing it is that there should be a relationship between the respiratory diaphragm and the pelvic diaphragm. They function together. So when we're taking deep breaths, our pelvic floor is having a little bit of an exercise. So let's take that breath and try different positions. So I'm going to have my right ankle on top of the left, and my feet aren't floppy and relaxed. We're going to push away through the heels, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. So I can feel a stretch along the back of the legs. I've slightly tucked under my tailbone so the lower back is flat against the floor. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can have a little towel or a scarf folded just to give you a bit of extra cushioning and support. Let's take the hands up. So I've got the hands over my eyes, so I'm interrupting the view of the ceiling. And there's a bit of a gap between the fingers, it's not that they're overlapped. Elbows are bent, so not arms straight, but elbows bent to the side. So the arms are working in this position. Feet are still active, check the heels are still pushed away. I'm going to do that same hypopressive breath again. So breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. Hold the breath out. Breathing in when you need to, let your arms relax down for a moment. Sometimes you'll find yourself swallowing or really gasping at the end for breath. That's a good sign that you're doing it in the right way. Let's swap the legs over. So left ankle on top, heels pushed away, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, hands interrupting the view of the ceiling, elbows pushing out wide. Same breath again, breathing in through the nose, breathing fully out. Hold the breath out. And when you need to, breathe in, relax. So if you start to count your breath next time you do the video, over time you should find that your breath will get a little bit longer in that hold out. It's creating a vacuum internally to help work on the pelvic floor. So from here, you can either stretch the legs out, keep the legs straight if that feels comfortable. You can put something under the knees just to release the lower back a little bit. But what I like to do is have the feet flat on the floor and drop the knees together so the legs are supporting each other. And we're going to bring the palms together. So rubbing to get some warmth between the hands. And let's bring the hands over the front of the pelvis. Let the elbows relax down, letting the eyes close if you can. And I want you to feel the warmth sinking in to the skin at the front of the pelvis and the lower belly. Let's do that one more time. Palms together. When they're nice and warm, Bring them back down, let the elbows relax. Check in with the legs, especially if the legs are bent, let the hips relax. Letting the warmth sink into the pelvis. And as the warmth sinks down, you might imagine sending a feeling down like gratitude or compassion, kindness, tenderness, whatever feels right for you. Perhaps you're a really visual person, you might imagine sending a beautiful colour or colours down, or sprinkling flowers within the space of the pelvis. Let the breath continue, breathing in and breathing out. And if you have time, you can always let the video finish and stay here a little bit longer, keeping company to that part of the body. Letting the breath stay long and deep and slow. Otherwise, if you need to get on with your day, you're going to roll onto one side, pause there for a moment, check in with how you feel. In one word, how would you describe how you are now? And then using your hands to come back up to sitting. Thank you so much for taking this time with me. Have a very good day and take care.